Hi guys. So I've just finished watching the very acclaimed The Polygamist based in South Africa. So it's just as the name says. And up to now, I don't understand why this series is so hyped. I understand it is interesting. I understand uh, it's interesting. I mean there are a lot of twists and turns and I can't say I'm not happy with how it ended. But in the process, because we're leveling up, I feel that this series is so demeaning to women. Because tell me, I don't understand why somebody who's um, very wealthy, she is capable herself, she's very independent, she doesn't have to rely on the husband's money. Why would you suffer to that extent just because of marriage? And that makes us realize why, despite the femicides happening, despite the wrong things that goes wrong in a relationship, that happens in a relationship, women choose to stay. And I think part of it is because the society has put so much expectation that having a husband feels like such an honor. I'm not saying it's not, but if it's in a case where you're being abused emotionally, physically, and then why do men utilize polygamy as a way of escaping their infidelities? Because there's no reason that man could. First of all, his married wives, they know the first wife, that is Joyce. Now, the other women don't know that they're even part of this man's life. So, why would we allow ourselves to be used in that manner? And as a woman, you see somebody else is married. So, why would you even want to go for somebody else's husband? You see, if he can do that to the wife, what makes you think that he can't do that to you? Like, why do we demean ourselves to that level? Like, we can't do anything, that a man has to be present. Why do we suffer so much? So, in as much as the series, in terms of the drama, it's good, but in terms of lessons, it shows that whatever happens in, especially African family homes, people suffer. Yeah, the wives do suffer, but then they choose to still stay there. But what I'm angry at is that we're talking about a woman who is very independent, very capable. She knows people, like she lacks nothing. So what was the essence of her sitting there? And you realize in all these things, we're not, I feel like we are claiming it for the very wrong reasons. Why are we not talking about the children? At the end of the series, the Joyce claims that she's never going to raise somebody like the father again. Like she'll never give birth to a child who will behave like the husband did. But we all know whatever the son did, because it's like the son learned very well from the dad. So we parents normally do things in homes, but they don't really look at the kids. The father did, the Jonasi, he didn't really look at how whatever he was doing was affecting his kids, all his kids, from his formal marriage to the informal ones. Like, kids suffer where parents fail. Whatever they do, kids get affected. But it's like they're not seeing them. The kids are not being seen. Yeah. So the only person I feel should be well acclaimed is the Joyce's daughter. I've forgotten the name. But you realize that she refused to carry the generational curses. From what we know, the son is going wayward. The other ones are still young. We don't know. Sarah already did some things because she was affected. She wasn't getting the love of her dad. But this other daughter decided that she was not going to carry that pain within herself, because she realized that her parents were behaving the same way their parents behaved, but now she chose to break it. If she didn't, the cycle would have continued. So I feel like she's not being given the accolades she deserves. That character, for me, it's the only character that was able to stand out. And actually, she's the only one who has been able to be herself, love herself, accept everything that was going on, but decided to be better. Yeah, she decided to leave the toxic environment. She decided to forgive the dad. She decided not to engage with the boyfriend that cheated on her with the sister. I mean, it's very complicated, but yeah. So for me, she's the only character that stood out so well, that we can actually learn from. Yeah. But the other ones, I feel the series demeans women so much. And it proves to these men that we're actually there for the money. Because tell me why all these women agreed to be with this man. Number one is just because of the money. Most of it was not, I can't say it was love. Some did love him, but you can't love somebody who's broke. And it just shows that in as much as we're trying to move away from the notion that we love money, the series proves us wrong that we actually love money, and whatever happens to us, we kind of aid in abetting it. Yeah, we aid in helping it out, because why would you see a man who's still married and you want to go for that man? You're a young lady, you're this daughter's age mate. In fact, you're the daughter's best friend. Why would you sleep with the dad? Just because you're being taken to places that your boyfriend currently cannot. It's just because of the money. So the drama is good, but in terms of how women are viewed, it fails us. It fails us. And it's funny because it actually reveals whatever is happening in the society, which does happen. So what are we going to do? Are we going to prove ourselves, or we are going to prove them right? I think it's a good series. It's good for watching. It gives you thought provoking, emotions, things to think about. But it's a good drama, so you go watch it.